on Saturday's Sports Showcase. It's the best on the beach, competing against the best on the beach. It's the Miller Lite Tournament of Champions. Pro Beach Volleyball. We welcome you live from gorgeous Santa Barbara, California, the championship final of the $100,000 Miller Lite Tournament of Champions presented by Old Spice. The championship format a little different this week, Paul. It's single elimination.
A special postseason event. We're going to play 2 out of 3 games in the single elimination format. The first game to 4 minutes, win by 1. Second game, 4 minutes, win by 1. The third game, should it be necessary, only 1 minute on the game clock. Of course, 3 contacts per team. You may never touch the net, and you must be serving in order to score. All that be as it may, we have the number 1 team on the beach, Kirian Steffes, against the number 2 team, Smith and Stoklos.
Jim Leonard, our first referee. Bobby Clark, our second referee. I'm Chris Marlowe, my partner, Paul Sunderland. The first time we have had this confrontation on NBC on the beach this year. St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos, the former kings of the beach, against the dream team, Karts Garay, Kent Steffes. Brian Steffes, Chavez, and Young easily had trouble with Clark and Mootehart, and then won their third game relatively easily over Pat Powers and Mike Dodd. For Smith and Stoklos, they went 3 against Davis and Fallowfield, 2 straight mirror and worse, and then had problems with Lewis and Whitmarsh pulling it out in the third game, 2-1. Cart serving, and as he normally does, he works on Stoklos, and Steffes stuffs it.
The strategy for Kirian Steffes is to work on Randy Stoklos. He blocks, he jump serves, but what Kirian Steffes want to do is wear him down, and Kent Steffes has been blocking Randy Stoklos like this most of the summer.
3 timeouts per team per game. Inside, Randy Stoklos teases one through, and his team will have the ball in possession.
These 2 teams have met in the finals during the course of the AVP Tour 5 times. Kirian Steffes are a perfect 5-0.
St. John Smith serving, single elimination for the first time this year. Both these teams rested, both these teams fresh, and both these teams hungry for victory. A $100,000 tournament. As St. John Smith, you see the stats on he. One of the great players of all time, maybe the greatest, Stoklos. And Stoklos snaps it down the line. Randy Stoklos, powerfully built, a 2-time most valuable player on the AVP Tour. He will do most of the hitting and blocking.
Oh, help me anywhere.
Bad pass by Kirian.
And he puts it away. The wind certainly going to be a factor today.
Well, we had perfectly calm conditions until about an hour ago, and now the wind has picked up to about 10, 12 knots, and that really affects pro beach volleyball. Good ball control, however, by Kirian Steffes. Their strength, and they're on the good side.
Smith and Stoklos coming at you. Stoklos cutting inside. Nicely done. Smith and Stoklos have won more tournaments together than any other team in beach volleyball history. 112. Randy Stoklos out of Pacific Palisades, California. 31 years old in his prime. Smith.
Good.
And they'll work on Steffes.
There is nobody.
And Steffes hits it out of bounds. So we are tied at 1 and a quick side change.
We talked about good side, bad side. The good side is downwind. The ball, the inflated volleyball moves less. It's easier to control. And because of that, in this format, very unique 4 minutes on the clock, score really not an issue. Playing to 11, playing to 15 as we normally see on the Pro Beach Volleyball Tour in the Olympics or in college volleyball for that matter. Change sides in this format, multiples of 2.
St. John Smith, he won his first tournament way back in 1977. So a 3rd decade now for Smith on the Pro Tour. As Karch coming at you. Garay snaps one inside.
Down for side out.
So young Kent Steffes will serve, 6'4", 210 pounds. He is solid.
Ball control, great physical ability from both Kirai and Steffes has led to their success this season. Steffes has won a record 17 tournaments, 15 of those with Karch Kirai. They didn't play together the entire summer because Kirai was in Italy making $1 million and he joined late. And since then, they've been almost unbeatable.
Trying to work on Randy Stoklos. We're tied at 1. Ball is blocked, chance for a point. And Karch must keep it in play. Stoklos trying to save point. And he does.
Stoklos signing out.
Looked like a pretty easy point scoring opportunity after the good soft block or deflection from Karch Kirai. But just the crank by Randy Stoklos to end the rally. Kent Steffes unable to set the ball off the dig.
Stoklos' jump serve has been working very well so far in the tournament as Karch goes over the top. Karch Kirai, 2 gold medals, wearing his familiar pink hat. I asked him why he wears the pink hat. He says, I have a lime one, I have a yellow one, and I have a black one, but my lucky pink one has been working for me during the streak. Earlier in the year, 13 tournaments, 1 in a row by Kirai and Steffes. Stoklos got it. Nice play by Randy.
But what a phenomenal set into the wind by his partner, St. John Smith. Look at Stoklos going down. You see the weapon that jump serving is St. John Smith, 20 feet from the net, his back to the target, and still able to get the ball perfectly to his partner.
1-1, 2 minutes and 43 seconds to go here in game 1. 2 out of 3 format. Steffes. Steffes pops it off the hands of Stoklos. Kent Steffes, born in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and now lives in Pacific Palisades. 15 tournaments. The record 16. So if Kirai and Steffes win today, that serve out of bounds, that would tie the record set by Smith and Stoklos. Certainly no love lost between these two teams.
Well, they've been going at each other for a long time, and Kent Steffes has a big mouth. He pops off all the time. He says things in the Los Angeles Times like, I'm the only player on the tour with half a brain, or with a brain, I should say. He said, well, my partner Karch Kirai has half a brain, so we'll give him that much. And that just, quite frankly, doesn't make him very popular in the players' tent. And Kent Steffes is young and brash and won a tremendous amount of money during the course of this season, and this is what they're playing for today. First place, $1993 Ford Ranger. Second place, $11,000. Third, fourth, and on down, and that's all split among the teams. But 1 truck apiece to the winners.
The attack tags the
2 trucks individually, they're worth $15,000 apiece. So Smith and Stoklos trying to drive away with a couple of Fords and a major title. Technically, they have not won on the AVP Tour since April 12th, the day I got married. And that's a long time. They did win a tournament in Spain as Steffes hits the ball out of bounds, for which they were subsequently fined $25,000 apiece.
Well, the tournament in Spain was in conflict with a tournament in the United States. St. John Smith, Randy Stoklos asked permission to go. The Association of Volleyball Professionals said, no, you can't go unless you agree to these specifications. Smith and Stoklos refused to agree to the specifications, went to Spain in any case, resulting in a $70,000 fine, which has been withheld from Smith and Stoklos to this date, and there's lots of talk back and forth between lawyers and agents and everybody else, but very glad to see them back out on tour, and I do think it'll be resolved.
So Smith and Stoklos still seething from their fine, as they will do a nice job of setting that one up there. So Stoklos to serve, his team leading 2-1. And he serves an ace. Touched by Kirai, but still an ace. 2 minutes, 11 seconds to go. Smith and Stoklos out early by a couple. Old Spice, game 1. Smith and Stoklos have scored 3 in a row, and they're turning it on. Karch and Kent. Smith. Got it. Now 4-1 for Smith Stoklos.
Karch Kirai and Kent Steffes are on the good side, downwind. They should have an easier time controlling the ball, but Kent Steffes not setting the ball well, in my opinion, setting Karch Kirai much too close. He cannot take a good swing at the ball.
Stoklos serve, putting pressure on. Here comes Kirai.
That's better.
And he whams it down the line.
The margin for error is so slight. If you set the ball 5 feet off the net, that's too deep. If you set the ball right on top of the net, that's too tight, and the blocker has an advantage. Where's perfect? Hey, right there. Hammering down the line, Karch Kirai.
Good.
Over to Smith.
Line.
And Karch has it, looking for a point. Steffes gets it. Little roll shot down the middle. Effective.
Up the middle, when you're in trouble, be it in tennis or volleyball on the beach, you go deep middle, right here, in between the players. Who's got it? Not Smith, not Stoklos. Score for Kirai and Steffes.
If you're new to volleyball, this is a new format. Single elimination, 2 out of 3 games, 4-minute time limit. If we go to game 3, it'll be a 1-minute time limit. So 3 games, best 2 out of 3 wins it. As Karchin can't go up against Smith and Stoklos. Stoklos, and he pounds it. He looks very, very fresh today, Paul. And one of the ideas in single elimination would be to get 2 undefeated teams fresh in the final.
Well, Randy Stoklos has had shoulder problems all season long. Had an off weekend last week, and I think the rest has really helped him. Talked to him before the match. He says, I feel strong. I'm jump serving better than I have in a month or two.
Husband and wife play. Smith whips up the ace. The husband and wife play on this ball. No communication.
Well, Stoklos is jump serving well, but so is his partner, St. John Smith. Doesn't hit it as hard, but has great accuracy up the middle.
Karch. And Smith almost there again. Smith moving well behind the block.
Only a minute 38 left in game 1. Smith and Stoklos with a 5-2 lead, which in this format is very commanding. Smith and Stoklos going to start taking some time off the clock. Watch for the sky balls to take those precious seconds off and try to run this game 1 out.
Steffes whipped one out of bounds, and now Smith and Stoklos in a great position. The Kings of the Beach, no longer. They held that title since 1989. Smith right there. And Steffes trying to save a point here. Karch, Kent. Smith with the ding. Can he put it away? No! Steffes is there.
St. John Smith trying to pokey Randy Stoklos, chasing the ball down. 2 players covering a lot of territory, and Kent Steffes getting way over net with that big paw, stuffing St. John Smith.
Jim Leonard says, here we go, Kirai. Trying to keep the pressure on, his team trailing 2-5. Smith. And a little tap shot. Smith, not the most powerful player on the beach, certainly not anymore, but one of the smartest and directionalizing all those shots.
Well, just a smart, experienced player, and just a magician out on the court, a little bit like John McEnroe is in tennis. He had the big wicked serve, but McEnroe was just a magician with all the shots. St. John Smith is very much the same. Doesn't hit the ball the hardest, but moves it around offensively.
Working on Kent Steffes in Navy. Smith is there. Oh, and they miss it. So Smith trying to pinwheel in the back court and give the side out to Kent Steffes and Karch Kirai. Steffes has already won over $315,000.
Hey, Smith was all over that ball until his big partner Randy Stoklos swatted it out of the way. Smith actually overran it, but Stoklos obviously has no way of knowing to let that ball go. Both players, only 2-man teams out here, as we've said many times, covering a big chunk of sand.
Stoklos, his jump serve is working beautifully. Smith is, he is there, is what I was going to say. Can he put it down? Not yet. Kirai can.
St. John Smith lighting it up defensively, but then with an exclamation point, Karch Kirai detonating in Santa Barbara.
Just under 55 seconds to go in game 1. Karch and Kent trailing Smith Stoklos by 3. Stoklos. If you're wondering about the format, this format was instituted by the AVP board. The AVP board decided they wanted to try something different in the single elimination tournament. The players instituted this format, and so they have it here in the final. Smith to serve. Glad you're with us. We're live from Santa Barbara, California. Beautiful day for volleyball. Kent, and gently tapping it through.
44.7 seconds remaining.
Just under 45 seconds left on the clock. Time becoming the key issue here. Kirai and Steffes down by 3. Have got to start putting some points on the board. Have been unable to crack Randy Stoklos early.
Good serve, right to Karch. Should be a point. Steffes. Oh, he tapped it right to Stoklos. Look out. Karch with a dig.
Big play, big play.
Timeout on the sand. 43 seconds to go in game one. Smith Stoklos by a couple.
3-5 the score.
Beautiful Ford Rangers, which are all new for 1993. AVP Tour is certainly glad to have Ford aboard as a major sponsor. Live from Ledbetter Beach, a couple of miles north of East Beach, the two volleyball playing beaches, if you're familiar with the Santa Barbara area. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland. Final action. St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos battling Karts Karai and Kent Steffes, the former kings of the beach, against the Dream Team.
Well, Karai and Steffes almost out of it before that last big play. But they score, tighten it up to 5-3, and then come over to the good side, have another chance to score to tighten it to 5-4, but Kent Steffes shanks the dig.
Not much time remaining. Karai and Steffes trailing by 2, could be 3 here. Smith. And Smith is dug by Steffes.
Bad pass. Trouble! Boy, there are a lot of mistakes being made out here. Kent Steffes is not playing good defense right now, and St. John Smith, maybe the best defensive player of all time, just shanks. The two-hand tomahawk fails him. He gives his partner a frontal lobotomy.
Randy Stoklos.
Karts Karai recently voted last week the most valuable player on the AVP Tour. Kind of an interesting choice for Karts, don't you think?
Well, Karch, much deserved. There you see some of the acronyms or misnomers, we should say, of Karch Karai through the years. Card, Kiard, Couch, Kiroli. You can take it from there. It's an incredible list.
We had a new one this week. Look at this one. Kaula Kirkley. Kaula Kirkley. Some of the names that Karts Karai has to put up with in a press release. I said, I'm still Karch. Don't leave me now. 19 seconds to go. It's 5-3. Steffes, and he puts it away. Now, within one are Karai and Steffes.
Smith and Stoklos have stopped handling the ball well. They are on the bad side. The wind has dropped just a little bit, but clearly having an effect as Kent Steffes goes over the top of Randy Stoklos.
Trying to run out the clock. Oh, Karch takes Stoklos. Karch and Kent need it. And they get it. We're tied up.
A great-looking read by young Kent Steffes going on 2. The ball is on the net. He takes a look at the defense of Smith and Stoklos. They're going right. He's going left. Right here, look, and he takes his look. Smith is going left. The ball's going right. We score.
Just under 4 seconds to play game one. If we're tied, we go to sudden death in game one. Next point wins. Brian Steffes trying to stuff one and run out the clock. Stoklos got it. We go to sudden death. Clock has run out here in game one. 5-5. Now, the first referee will reflip Jim Leonard. What do you take, side or serve here, Paul?
Ken calls this one.
5-5.
Let's listen.
Randy! Hey!
For side and serve.
To answer your question, I take serve. The wind has dropped. Bad side, good side. Not as big a factor as when this game started.
All right, let's see.
You switch sides every 30 seconds. First point wins.
Even Smith and Stoklos not quite sure
You
of
want
the
this
format.
side?
Smith
Okay.
and Stoklos will start on the good side. Wind in their face.
Ken will be serving.
Karai and Steffes have taken the ball, confident that they can score. First team to score wins this game one. We're in sudden death.
So apparently Smith and Stoklos won the toss. They have elected to take serve. Take side, excuse me. You think Karai and Steffes won the toss? I don't agree. Here we go. Steffes. To Smith.
He hit it out.
And that's the end of game one. Well, it didn't really matter who got what. Smith hits the first ball out of bounds. And game one in sudden death ends 6-5. Don't go away. We'll be back with more after these words from our local station. Welcome back to the Miller Lite Tournament of Champions, presented by Old Spice. I'm Chris Marlowe. My partner is Paul Sunderland. Karch Karai and Kent Steffes revived in game one, coming back to win in sudden death 6-5. We start game two. Best 2 out of 3 format. Single elimination here at the Tournament of Champions. Smith Stoklos really blew that game.
Absolutely. Up 5-2 with under 3 minutes left on the game clock. should have made the plays to get themselves on the scoreboard with one game in their pocket. But Kirai and Steffes really came on.
Here comes Steffes.
Over. Come on, right there.
Nice dig. Smith snapping it home.
Smith puts it down.
A conversion play for Smith Stoklos.
And Smith coming right back. We're in sudden death in game one. One of the most consistent offensive players. Rockets the ball straight out of bounds. Comes right back playing tough volleyball in game two.
Karch. Blocked by Stoklos. Dug by Smith. Stokey chasing. That's
he's going out.
1-0 is our score. And he cuts it out of bounds. Kirai called cut. But Steffes using the Ginsu cut it out of bounds too sharply. 2-0 Smith Stoklos.
You have to hustle after every ball. Randy Stoklos sprinting off the dig from St. John Smith. You got to continue to put pressure on the opposition. Make them handle the ball one more time. They might hit it out, and Steffes does.
St. John Smith so far with 8 digs. His defense has been great. That time, tapping it down the
Tackle
line
the block, side out. Kirai,
is
Steffes, Karch coming back to
Game
serve.
2, Kirai and Steffes won the first. As Steffes will patrol at the net, just 24, in great shape. Stoklos. Good set. And right to Karch. Didn't have to move. And KK dices it. So a spiking error that time by Stoklos. You're trying to force to hit it away from that defensive player.
Well, and Randy Stoklos talking to St. John Smith right now after the ball is set. This is the end of the play. Kirai slicing off a better angle than Randy Stoklos offered in return for the score. But the setter right now must communicate. St. John Smith, look at the defense, communicate to his spiker, Randy Stoklos, what area of the court is open. And that time Stoklos hammering line. It all starts with a good pass. Look at Kent Steffes jumping into the angle and Karch Kirai moving behind the player at the net and the player behind playing defense. Must work in concert.
Yes!
Together.
That's concert.
Absolutely. That's playing fine line music.
Stoklos, the one-man band, 3-1, just as they did in game 1. Smith and Stoklos out early. Back live in Santa Barbara, California, St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos leading Karch Kirai and Kent Steffes in our championship final, 3-1.
Kirai and Steffes.
Kirai and Steffes won game 1, 6-5 in sudden death. We're playing 2 out of 3, single elimination tournament, the first one this year. A lot of players like it, a lot of players hate it. Smith, Karch to Kent, and Kent booms it.
The players who like it are the ones who are still in the tournament. Everybody else that's headed home, they don't like the format one bit. Same situation as in game 1. Kirai and Steffes off to a horrible start and making a comeback from the bad side, making the big plays.
Steffes makes the jump serving error. Steffes now at UCLA. He'll start school as a Bruin next week. Former Bruins, St. John Smith, Randy Stoklos, both played for UCLA, as did Karch Kirai. So an all-Bruin final. Karch easily cross court. That's the shot you have to take if you're blocking Karch Kirai. He loves to hit cross court.
The Russians have seen it, the Cubans have seen it, everybody on the beach has seen it. Unless you make him hit someplace else, he's just going to keep slicing off the angle all afternoon.
Great serve. Stoklos has it. Here he comes. Karch is right there to gobble it up. Tying up. Karch. Yes.
Serving right now the key. They have not been serving consistently well, but have been getting point scoring opportunities off the jump serve. Look at Randy Stoklos diving out with the left hand. This is a pretty good set, but Stoklos with the knuckler, very easy to read for Kirai to get. And then the point scoring opportunity, Kirai ripping from the right side.
3-3, Karch serving. Oh, and he whips up the ace, so Kirai has revved up his serve. And he is scoring points and putting on pressure.
Well, they were in the doldrums serving, that is Kirai and Steffes, for a period of time in game 1 and at the beginning of game 2. But just firing back right now. Kirai and Steffes have several service errors between them, but now racking up the aces.
We mentioned that Karch Kirai was the most valuable player. A lot of people thought that Kent Steffes could have won this award this year, Paul. It didn't quite work out that way, did it?
Well, Karch Kirai was indeed the most valuable player. other awards. Won Best Offensive Player, also Karch Kirai. Best Defensive Player, St. John Smith Rookie of the Year, former Olympian Troy Tanner. Most Improved Player, and much deserved Brian Lewis. But where is Kent Steffes? He won the most money. He won the most tournaments. Even St. John Smith, his greatest rival, said, hey, I voted for him, and yet he doesn't even win an award. Really a surprise, in my opinion.
Karch Kirai serving.
Kent Steffes, he won the Miller Lite Grand Prix, $75,000. Part of the Miller Lite Grand Prix bonus pool, $500,000. Karch gobbles it up. Who's to say Karch isn't the most valuable? Who's to say?
Puts it down.
As he kabooms one, and suddenly Kirai and Steffes crank it up into overdrive. They're practically driving those four trucks right now. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Game 2. Kirai and Steffes by a couple. And Kent getting behind in each game and then coming back.
Well, getting off to terrible starts and then deciding to put the pedal to the metal. They want to win the trucks, coming out and jump serving extremely well, as we have seen both Karch Kirai and Kent Steffes doing, and they've taken control of this match.
Fans on the side of Smith Stoklos as they try to come back in this one. They are trailing 1-0 as Kirai makes the up. Stoklos alone is Smith, and he puts it off Karch out of bounds.
Good for side out.
Key for St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos right now have to continue to make very good plays, obviously, offensively and defensively. They're doing that. But they must serve well. Randy Stoklos has done that throughout the course of the tournament, missing again from the service line, and now they must control the ball. They're on the good side. Plenty of time left on the game clock in game 2. 2 minutes, 17.7 seconds. Only down 2 points. Got to control the ball. That's one of their strengths.
And Steffes with the serve.
Good shot.
And a nice tap shot by Randy Stoklos. When we say good side, bad side, that just means the team with the wind in its face has the good side. They can top spin, they can hit the ball hard. The team with the wind at their backs has more trouble controlling the ball.
Well, the ball coming, it's inflated, obviously, a volleyball, and coming to you downwind, moves less, and exactly the point. Smith is on the good side. He cuts the curveball jump serve into the wind. It breaks down and away from Kent Steffes. Very, very important ace serve. Watch the movement on this ball. Hitting over the top and outside Steffes with no chance.
Smith's second ace and a 20-second timeout going to Kirai and Steffes. A $100,000 tournament. And Kent Steffes has already won the most money. We talked about Kent Steffes, how he did not win the most valuable player award. Interestingly, he doesn't even vote for the player awards. He doesn't believe in them. His best friend, Adam Unger, votes for him. Now, who did Adam Unger vote for this year? He voted for Kent as the MVP. But apparently, Kent needs more ballots and more friends like Unger to get that MVP. Tough.
Well, he's got lots of respect out on the tour as a player, but not many friends because, like I said, he's got a big mouth and not afraid to use it.
Chance to tie. Yes, Smith and Stoklos taking advantage of the good side. We're tied 5-5. Game 1 went to Kirai and Steffes. 6-5 in sudden death. This is game 2.
2 minutes.
This is the game of St. John Smith. Again, not too hard, but here is just the killer loop right over the top. You don't always have to bring the heater.
Smith with the serve. 2 minutes to play exactly. Kirai. Blocked. And out of the reach goes Steffes on 2. You don't have to hit the ball twice or 3 times. You can go over anytime you want.
And Kent Steffes, for the second time in the match, taking advantage of the ball near the net. He has the choice to set his partner, Kirai, or go ahead and hit the ball on 2. Both times on 2. Both times successful.
Just out of bounds. Still tied at 5.
Kirai going for lines against Randy Stoklos. Thinks right now he's got a chance, but the wind and again the top spin blowing the ball away from Randy Stoklos and away from the line.
Smith digs it. His old partner. And he puts it away.
Smith puts it down.
So Christopher St. John Smith, nicknamed Sinjin, because his little sister couldn't say St. John. She said Sinjin.
And it's been that way forever. His name mangled early. Kirai's mangled late.
Oh, and Jim Leonard says ace. Watch this. Look out. Jim Leonard calls it an ace. And Smith Stoklos get a point.
Smith and Stoklos.
I don't care. The ball hit the rope on the way out.
Oh, very close. But Jim Leonard is 30 feet away, and Marvin Hall is
On the way
right
out.
there, and the linesman was
Give
overruled.
a chance to give these guys
It's a point.
their due.
A minute 41 to go in this game. St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos have finally pulled ahead.
California.
There's more than new looks to the 93 Ford Escort.
Tournament of Champions. Let's take a look, Paul. Talk the ball in or out.
A turning point. Marvin Hall is right there. Kirai lets it go. That ball looks long. Marvin Hall called it out, and from 30 feet away, head referee Jim Leonard called it out. Smith called it good, I should say.
Pokes one up with his left hand, and Karch tapping inside. Karai and Steffes
Karai, side out.
trying to fight off a 4-0 run put together by St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos. Steffes will serve.
Again, playing 4-minute games. Each of the first two games, we've got a minute and 30 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time for Karai and Steffes to make a comeback.
Stoklos whacking it out of bounds. Point, Karai, Steffes.
With this format, Chris, and only 4 minutes on the game clock and playing 2 out of 3, every contact of the ball so crucial. That a big hitting error by Randy Stoklos.
Still working on Stoklos. He's looked very powerful today. But that one goes right to Kent. Ooh, that was a terrible throw. That looked like a double contact. Absolutely. I must be going blind.
You're not going blind unless I am too, because I saw exactly the same thing. And maybe Jim Leonard evening things up just a little bit, but that was a shank set by Karch Kirai.
Let's explain double contact or lift. Double contact is right to left or lift.
Well, when you set the ball, you have to have the ball contact both hands and leave both hands at the same time. You can't go right to left. It's an unfair advantage handling the ball, and it comes up with lots of spin.
Karch and Kent hustling now, and Steffes cuts through. So 3 in a row for Karch and Kent, and now they're on the good side with 1:07 to go and a 1-point lead.
Boy, again, the streaks continue. Smith and Stoklos, their 4-0 run. Now Karch Kirai and Kent Steffes mount their own comeback streak. Nobody's settling down and taking over.
Stoklos puts it away. If you're wondering why is it not side-out volleyball, why haven't the teams been a little more consistent? Well, it is very windy out here. When the wind comes up, you tend to make more errors.
I just think that they're not playing real well right now.
Okay,
I mean,
or
I think we've played in a lot windier conditions, and these teams should be siding out better. I think that they just really get fired up for one another and know how to stop each other and feel a lot of pressure. These are the number 1 and number 2 teams on the beach, and neither of them have gotten into very comfortable side-out streaks.
Karch Kirai, he has won 23 tournaments with Kent Steffes and trying to... And he serves up the husband and wife play to Smith and Stoklos. They look, they don't talk, no communication.
Right up the middle, Karch Kirai ripping the jump serve. His serving has been the key to get them back in the game. And now here it is. You take it. I've got it. No. Ace up the middle.
There's a timeout on the sand. We're under a minute in game 2. Kirai and Steffes in control. Back live at Ledbetter Beach here in Santa Barbara, California, the Miller Lite Tournament of Champions. Perhaps only 54 seconds to go. Kirai and Steffes gobbling now. Kent, and he puts it away again. Now it is 10-7. Trying to wrap up the Tournament of Champions crown here.
1 seconds remain.
Kirai and Steffes, how about their strategy now?
Well, just to right now keep the ball on Randy Stoklos. 49 seconds left. They're going to try to slow things down, take some time off the clock. But they have just done what all great teams do. Raise their level of play when you have to, and what a run they're on right now.
So St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos have to crank it up. Stoklos has the jump serve to do it. He's got some heat, but he can't make it happen that time.
The strategy of Karch Kirai, Kent Steffes work on Randy Stoklos. Have they done it? You bet. Stoklos has received 25 serves. Smith, only 8. Going to Randy Stoklos, the poor passer of the 2 between the former Kings of the Beach, Smith and Stoklos.
If you're Kent Steffes now, you want to keep this serve in. Run the clock. He does. If you're Stoklos, you want to pound it. Stoklos. And snapping high.
Still plenty of time. 36.9 seconds. St. John Smith will go for the ace right now. He has one earlier from this exact same position against Kent Steffes from the good side. Will try to slice it off or go deep middle. Needs a line here.
Trailing 7-10. Karai and Steffes won game 1. Oh, and Steffes hammers that baby. Steffes really elevating. And Karch will have the ball. People ask me, why did Karch Karai not play in the Olympics once again? In 1989, he spent 220 days away from home. One big reason. And that serve, was it in? Yes! So Karch drops one right on the line, and it appears that the Dream Team is going to do it once again.
Great teams do what's necessary. They have blocked, played defense, but it has been the serving of Karch Karai, particularly in game 2, that have led to comebacks and led to their controlling position here in the match.
Smith and Stoklos need side outs quick. Steffes got it.
Not going to happen. The ball set too tight to the net, and Kent Steffes going up, putting an exclamation point on a 7-0 run by Karai and Steffes. They have a commanding lead, 12-7, with just over 25 seconds left.
Karai and Steffes get those forward Rangers warmed up. Here they come. Steffes, Karch, he got it! And it just goes out of bounds. The athletic ability of Karch Karai. He pirouetted around, didn't know where the ball was.
Finally tracked it down. Hey, he says, hey, it's 10 feet away. If I dive and lunge out, I can get to the ball. He does indeed.
Smith has it. 11 seconds to go, and they cannot convert. So Karch Karai and Kent Steffes. They have won 15 tournaments together this year, 13 straight at one point, and they are going to tie the record when 9 seconds run out. The all-time record held by Smith and Stoklos back in 1986 of 16. Stoklos. And Stoklos tees off. Smith and Stoklos played very well this tournament, but they're not going to be able to pull this one out.
Going back to
and surprising that it was their ball control, quite frankly, that broke down. But Karai and Steffes served Randy Stoklos really tough, hitting lines repeatedly, making him dive and extend out on one arm. And now Smith and Stoklos really conceding that this match is over as time runs out, just dribbling the ball down, going to let it drop, and that is it.
So Karch and Kent win the Miller Lite Tournament of Champions, another major title. Our Old Spice winning moment. A fabulous play by Kent Steffes. He is in blue coming at you. He will be.
Steffes and Karai really turned it on late in this match, getting to the ball, making the read, and here putting the exclamation point on a 7-0 run that led to their becoming the champions of this tournament.
So Karch Karai and Kent Steffes, they won Clearwater, they won Manhattan, they won Boulder, and the U.S. Championships, and they are going to drive away today with two 1993 Ford Rangers. Karai